Happy Thanksgiving, everyone! Be thankful because it's the movie everyone went nuts over, Your Name. Critics and audiences saw this movie as this huge animated masterpiece on par with Akira and Spirited Away, noting its emotional draw and huge tragic twists, as well as its architectural animation design that could compete with Ghibli itself. And everybody's going to think I'm a complete ass, but I think this movie's overrated.
What the hell did you just say?
It's a good movie, and it's good animation, but I just don't think it's worth the hype. So, what's up my ass to even dare think that this movie's less than perfect? Well, let's take a look at the story. A country girl Mitsuha and a city boy Taki find out that they've been switching bodies, causing each other a lot of misunderstanding and troubles in their own lives. As they get used to each other's affairs, they begin growing metaphorically closer to each other to a point that they want to find the other. But as fate would have it, it's not just that they're switching bodies, but something more fourth dimensional. Before I saw the movie, hearing all the praise for it, I was somewhat excited to see a new experience, a new gateway into endless possibilities in terms of art. But after seeing it, I couldn't quite wrap my head around why people liked it. For me, it was abysmally underwhelming and oversaturated in odd story choices. Oh, and heads up, minor story spoilers ahead. If you haven't guessed, the main issue with the film is time travel. Yeah, I won't pretend that there's a perfect time travel story, but whenever there's a temporal paradox of sorts, you're either going to get confused or easily pick apart the story's inconsistencies. Without spoiling anything major, one of the characters travels back in time to prevent something from happening when it's that event that prompts him to go back in time in the first place, and is also very tiring to wrap your head around. And while they do remedy this with a pretty clever sub-solution with the main point of the film, I truly see this as a major storytelling bug. Now, after watching the movie multiple times over these years, knowing what's happening and what's going to happen, I could at least figure out the story's plot by the end of the second viewing, and then look at the film as a whole from then on, to which there wasn't as much of a gap. But there lies in the problem. Do you want your audience to come back because of your storytelling, or do you want them to come back because you confuse them? Unfortunately, that's not the end of my critiques. I think the romance between Taki and Mitsuha is dry and unearned, at least initially. We see the development of their body-switching relationship through a series of montages, being as is mostly comically played as this weird situation these two kids are in. But tell me, at the end of those montages, what exactly is their chemistry? It's understandable that they would learn about each other in those montages, thus grow some attachment, but the impression the scenes give is that of a comedy duo rather than a gradual increase of affection between the two. It isn't until later where their relationship gets interesting in terms of story and personal growth, but it's overall just ham-fisted. I never believed them to have actual love interest in each other. What's that? Am I an egotistical idealist who thinks a movie that doesn't go the way he wants is worth less than himself? Well, I'm not gonna lie, after having seen the movie multiple times, I can see why people do love it. For one thing, the animation is beautiful. Taking in the separate colors and atmospheres of the city and the country is astoundingly dynamic to the benefit of the overall light, slice-of-life tone the film tries to get at. As it so happens, this is not just a one-off. The director is Makoto Shinkai, the same director of 5 cm per second, and if you know my feelings about that movie's animation, then you can be assured that those feelings are still prevalent. God damn, that comet looks beautiful, as it does remind me of 5 cm Rocket. And as weird as it sounds, I still like the story. Yeah, I know I just shat all over it, but when it's not being a convoluted mess of time travel and poorly paced relations, it's still a fun story despite its problems. Most of that praise comes from Mitsuha and Taki, as both of these characters are fun and interesting as they work off each other very well. Yeah, even though they aren't great romantic foils, they are still great as friends. And yes, even the goddamn animation, themes of the movie, the climax, the animation, the music, and the animation are all great. Did I mention the animation? Seriously, the animation is the best part of the movie, as it goes in the range of gorgeous shooting stars to sketchy chalk animation to open wide angles of blue skies. I know I'm all over the place with this film, but for easy summarizing, here's my takeaways. Animation is gorgeous, characters are fascinating but flawed in chemistry, story is mysterious, fun, and tense, semantics of said story are iffy at best, and animation is fucking beautiful. Is it perfect? No, but neither am I, nor is this review. But what this movie is that this review isn't, is that it is well made and carefully crafted despite its flaws. Wait, just watch it. I know I'm a minority when it comes to this film, as apparently everyone loves this movie, and I can't really say I don't know why. It is a very good film. Highest grossing good? I don't know about that, but it is still worth a movie ticket. When you have a shot, take a look at it when you can, and have a non-apocalyptic Thanksgiving.